Mexico and Roatan, Honduras. On the flight down, I searched the web to try and find any information on possible cryptids from those places. Today, I'm going to share with you an article that I found on the Central American Sasquatch named Sisemite. So, let's have a look. The article I found was on the website Encyclopedia of Cryptozoology about a creature called Sisemite that has been reported in Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, and Nicaragua. The Sisemite is a cryptid primate reported from montane forests across Central America and Mexico, usually described as an ape-like creature which kills men and kidnaps women. It's also known by other names such as, and I'm going to butcher these, Chichimeque, Chichimicli, Chichinite, Sisimichi, Siguanaba, Sisimito, Suinta, Mizumalpan, Susumite, and Utsurwitzir. Sisemite comes from the Nahuatl word for diviner. Suinta is mosquito for spirit of the mountains, and Utsurwitzir is Mayan for guardian hill spirit. A Sisemite is said to be depicted on a Mayan carving discovered at the ruin of, Zunatunic in Belize by Lars Thomas. The first European account of the Sisemite allegedly came from a group of Spanish gold prospectors in the late 18th century who shot and killed a Sisemite, which was raiding their camp in Honduras. In 1898, Edward Jonathan Hoyt claimed to have shot a large ape-like creature about 5 feet tall in Honduras when it crawled over the end of his bunk. It resembled a hairy human. In 1912, the grandfather of Don Manuel Mejia ran into a Sisemite on Pico Bonito, Honduras. It walked like a man and was tall and hairy. In 1927, according to Harold T. Wilkins, during an expedition to Honduras, one of Thomas Gann's carriers was attacked and torn to pieces by an ape-like animal. And I quote, accompanied by Blasano, Gann trailed the strange monster's footsteps to a cave deep in the forest. Close to the mouth of the cave, both men were brought up all standing. Sunk deeply in the soft clay were footprints almost exactly like the thumb and first fingers of a gigantic human hand. Each digit was armed with a great claw. Persistent efforts have been made to capture the beast, but with no success. On one occasion, Blasano and his guide saw the branches waving at the top of a tall tree, and the guide said it was Debil, Debil. The guide reluctantly agreed to go for a closer look, armed with a light rifle loaded with duck shot. And after a dreadful commotion in the brush with much screaming, they found the bearer with 4 finger gouges across his torso, from which his entrails protruded at his belly. He was still alive enough to say that Debil had ripped him up and then beat it for the bush. Nothing like a little gore to stir up the imagination. Subsequent questioning of the local natives brought out the information that the forest devil was well known. It would attack lone women when it could, rip their clothes off, and hurl them to the ground, assuming that the actual rape part of the story was left out by retellers of the tale. It was covered with long, stiff black hair. Later, scratches or rub marks on trees 5 or 6 feet up, with some examples of these long, stiff black hair sticking in the bark. In the 1940s, a man from Coban in Guatemala named Miguel Huzil filed a police complaint alleging that his son-in-law was delinquent for allowing Huzil's daughter to be kidnapped by a Sisemite while standing by and doing nothing. Nice. The Sisemite may be a purely mythical entity or a species of undiscovered ape similar to Didi, Mapinguari, or Mano Grande. It is noted that the Quechua Maya of southern Belize's Toledo district recognized 3 main classes of forest denizens: major deities, local spirits, and normal animals. The Sisemite is included in this third category alongside tapirs and jaguars, suggesting that it is seen as a normal animal. Supposedly, the tracks reported by Thomas Gann indicate that the animal he was tracking was an arboreal ape, which was walking on the rims of its feet. He also notes that great apes can rip people open using only their fingernails and brute strength, and that male orangutans are occasionally reported to rape human women. Sheesh. Seems there's a large arboreal ape in the tropical forests of the New World, most likely a sort of large, dark-colored orangutan. It has large throat pouches, which makes its calls louder by resonance, and is most frequently compared to very large, tailless howler monkey. Then again, there is also a smaller Sisemite, which is more like a Siam Mang, and would have been what the locals were calling a duende, a smaller, shorter version of the Sisemite. Well, there you have it, folks. The information I was able to find on a Central American Sasquatch called the Sisemite. Have you heard of this creature before, or do you know of any other Central American cryptids? If so, please do let me know in the comments below or email me at uppercanadasasquatch@gmail.com. Thanks so much for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.